The time has come for the chosen one to undergo a significant transformation. One that will not only change the way they see themselves, but also the way others will soon see them. This isn't just a simple upgrade or improvement, it's a complete shift in identity, a profound metamorphosis that goes beyond surface-level changes. Right now, you are in the process of becoming someone new, someone who may even feel like a stranger to you at times. This transformation is something that takes place on the inside first, in the deepest parts of your being. The world may not recognize the changes immediately, and that's okay. What's unfolding inside of you is a process that will soon be reflected outwardly, but for now, it's all about understanding the internal shifts that are happening quietly and profoundly. It's not about pretending to be someone else. It's about becoming who you were always meant to be. This transition might feel uncomfortable at times, and it might seem like you're stuck between who you were and who you are becoming. But trust that this is exactly where you're meant to be. You are in the gap, and it is in this gap that the transformation is taking place. You may not recognize it now, but this moment is marking the beginning of something extraordinary. You are not here by accident. You are exactly where you need to be. The process of shifting from your old self to the person you are becoming can feel challenging, even unsettling. It's as if you're no longer who you were, but you're not quite who you're supposed to be yet. This space between your old self and the new version of you can feel ambiguous, and the world around you may not yet understand the transformation you're going through. Family members, friends, and co-workers may still see you as the person you once were, the one who struggled, stayed silent, played small, and sought validation from others. They remember the version of you that was unsure of yourself, the one who was often overlooked, the one who needed others to tell you what your worth was. But that version of you is gone. That person died in the wilderness of isolation, struggle, and hidden growth. The formation of the new you didn't happen in the spotlight. It happened in silence, in moments of solitude, and in the quiet spaces when no one was watching. While others were distracted by the external, you were being shaped on the inside. Your strength was built through carrying burdens you thought would break you. Your voice was forged in the quiet, when there was no one around to perform for. And your discernment sharpened as you learned to see people for who they truly were. You might not realize it yet, but all of this has been a part of your transformation. You've been quietly growing, changing, and becoming stronger. But the world hasn't caught up with you yet. And that's exactly how it's meant to be. Right now, you're standing in the threshold, not quite who you were, but not yet fully who you're becoming. And this threshold is where discomfort often lies. You might feel like you're in between two worlds, uncertain and unsure of what's next. But the truth is, this phase of transition is where all the magic is happening. It's the bridge between your old life and the future that's waiting for you. What feels like discomfort is actually the process of letting go of the old and stepping into the new. The person you've been is being replaced with the person you were always meant to become. And while it might feel confusing or even painful at times, know that this is necessary for your growth. You are shedding old layers, old beliefs, old habits, and old fears. And while the world around you may still see you as the person you once were, there's a shift happening in you that cannot be stopped. Soon enough, others will begin to see what you've already known deep inside. That you are not the same person anymore. And when they don't recognize you, it won't be because you've changed into someone else. It will be because you have become who you truly are. And that, chosen one, is a beautiful and powerful thing. The truth is, the old version of you still lingers in the minds of others, even though that person no longer exists. To them, you're the same individual who once struggled to find their voice, who stayed quiet and played small. They remember the version of you who held back, the one who offered help but never asked for anything in return. the one who avoided stepping into leadership because it felt too big, too overwhelming. They saw you as someone who had potential, but never quite lived up to it. Someone who would always be stuck in the same cycle of self-doubt and hesitation. To them, you're still that person. The one who wasn't sure of their place in the world. The one who felt like they had to hide their true self in order to fit in, or to make others comfortable. And every time they tell those old stories about you, it's a painful reminder that they haven't caught up with who you've become. You smile and nod, but inside you're thinking, that's not who I am anymore. It stings because you know the truth. They see the old you, and they can't seem to grasp that the person sitting in front of them is no longer that version. But here's the reality. They aren't wrong about who you once were. That version of you existed, and it was real. Yes, you struggled. Yes, you stayed quiet when you should have spoken up. Yes, you played small, afraid to take risks or to step into the greatness that was always within you. Those things were part of your journey, and they shaped who you are now. It's important to acknowledge that part of your story, not as something to regret, but as a vital piece of your transformation. Without that old version of yourself, you wouldn't be who you are today. The struggles, the silence, the quiet moments of doubt, they all served a purpose. They were the building blocks of your resilience, your strength, and your wisdom. But they are not who you are anymore. You are not defined by your past, and it's time to stop letting others define you by it as well. The version of you that they still hold on to is the version you left behind in the wilderness, the version you shed as you grew, learned, and evolved. The version of you that they remember is no longer relevant to who you are becoming. This is where the challenge lies. Others may still see you through the lens of your past, and that can feel frustrating and isolating. But you have to remember that their perception is not your reality. People's understanding of you is often stuck in the past, based on the limited knowledge they have of your journey. They see the struggles you faced, the mistakes you made, and the times you doubted yourself. But they don't see the unseen work that's been happening within you. They don't see the battles you fought alone, the personal growth that no one witnessed, or the moments when you chose to rise above your fears and limitations. They don't see the transformation that has been occurring quietly, beneath the surface, because it's invisible to them. And that's okay. They don't need to see it right now. What matters is that you see it. You know the work that's been done. You know the strength you've developed. You know the person you've become, even if the world hasn't caught up with you yet. Acknowledge the past, but don't let it hold you back. You've made peace with the version of you that others still remember, but you're no longer bound by it. You've stepped into a new identity, one that's still unfolding, but one that is stronger, more confident, and more aligned with your true purpose. The version of you that others see is frozen in time, and they may continue to hold on to that image of you for as long as they can. But you don't have to live in their perception of you. You don't have to shrink back into the person they want you to be or stay stuck in the role they've assigned you. You are becoming something greater, and while they may not recognize it right away, that doesn't mean it's not happening. The process is internal, and once the shift is complete, they will see you for who you truly are. It's important to remind yourself, over and over again, that you are no longer that person. Yes, you played small once, but you are no longer playing small. Yes, you stayed silent, but now your voice is emerging, and it's powerful. Yes, you were unsure of your place in the world, but now you're stepping into your purpose with clarity and confidence. You are no longer the person you were. You are becoming the person you were always meant to be. And that version of you is unrecognizable to the people who still see you as the person from your past. But that's okay. This transformation is not about pleasing others or proving something to them. It's about becoming who you are meant to be, regardless of whether they understand it or not. The key to this transformation is acknowledging the past without allowing it to define you. Recognize that while people may still hold on to the old version of you, that version is not who you are anymore. You've changed, and that change is real, even if it's not immediately visible to those around you. The work you've done, the growth you've experienced, and the strength you've gained are all real, even if others can't see them yet. You're not waiting for their recognition to validate your transformation. You're waiting for the moment when the internal shifts you've made will be reflected outwardly, and they will no longer be able to deny the person you've become. Until that moment comes, hold on to the truth of who you are becoming, and trust that the world will eventually catch up to you. The old you may still be part of your story, but it's not the end of your story. It's just the beginning. The transformation that is unfolding inside you is a powerful one, and it's not something that can be seen overnight. People will still hold on to the image they have of you, but that doesn't mean you have to stay stuck in it. You have the power to step into the person you are becoming, to embrace your new identity, and to let go of the past that no longer serves you. Trust the process, trust your growth, and trust that the world will soon see the person you've always been meant to be. They won't recognize you at first, but that's because you're no longer the person they once knew. You're someone entirely new, and that's exactly how it's meant to be. The wilderness is often misunderstood. It's not just a physical place, but a season, a space where the deepest parts of you are formed. In the wilderness, you were alone, perhaps with no one to cheer you on or see your struggles. It was a place where the world seemed to fade away, and only you and your thoughts remained. Yet, it was in this solitude, in these quiet moments when no one was watching, that you underwent your most important growth. It was in the wilderness that your strength was developed. Not the kind of strength that comes from being celebrated or noticed, but the kind that is born in silence, in hardship, and in moments of self-reliance. You didn't have the comfort of praise, and there were no outward signs of success, but something deeper was being cultivated inside you. Your voice, once soft and unsure, began to take form in the silence. It wasn't forged in moments of comfort or approval. It was forged when no one was around to hear it. And it was in this silence that you found your true voice, the one that is authentic and strong, rooted not in what others think of you, but in what you know about yourself. In the wilderness, you learned to trust your own inner knowing, your instincts, and your truth. You also developed discernment, a quiet but powerful ability to see things for what they really are, to understand what's beneath the surface, and to make decisions based on your inner wisdom rather than external influence. The wilderness wasn't a punishment, it was preparation. It was the place where your true self emerged, the person who could withstand the challenges ahead. You may not have recognized it at the time, but it was in the wilderness that you became who you are now. And it is there that the foundation of your transformation was laid. Looking back, you can see that the wilderness was not a place of wasted time. It was the most productive season of your life, even though the results weren't immediately visible. It's important to understand that the wilderness is where the real work happens. It's where the true transformation occurs, away from the public eye, away from the distractions, and away from the pressure of the world. It is a sacred space where you can process, heal, and grow into the person you were always meant to be. You may have felt abandoned or forgotten during this time, but in reality, it was the time when God was doing the most significant work in you. You were being refined, shaped, and prepared for what was to come. And although the wilderness may have been difficult and uncomfortable, it was also the place where your purpose was clarified, where your destiny was formed, and where you were set apart for something greater. Think about the biblical figures who went through their own wilderness seasons. David, Moses, and countless others who were not immediately recognized for who they truly were. David, for example, was anointed as king, but he didn't immediately step into a palace or a throne. Instead, he spent years in the wilderness, tending sheep, being overlooked by his family, and facing danger. To others, he was just a shepherd, a young, inexperienced boy, nothing more than a figure in the background. But in the wilderness, God was preparing David for his kingship. It was there that he learned how to lead, how to be strong, and how to trust God with his life. In those quiet years, God was shaping his character, fortifying his faith, and developing the skills he would need to rule a nation. The wilderness was essential for David's formation, even though others could not see it at the time. He may have been seen as just a shepherd, but God saw a king. Similarly, Moses spent 40 years in the wilderness. Egypt knew him as a prince, the adopted son of Pharaoh's daughter, living a life of luxury and power. But when Moses fled Egypt after killing an Egyptian, he spent decades in the desert, far from the wealth and privilege he had once known. To the world, he was just a shepherd in Midian, a man living in obscurity. But in those years of solitude, God was shaping Moses into the leader who would deliver Israel from bondage. Moses didn't start his journey as the great leader we know him to be today. He was formed in the wilderness, just as you have been formed. It was in the wilderness that Moses encountered God in the burning bush, where his true calling was revealed. It was in the wilderness that Moses' purpose became clear. He may have been seen as a mere shepherd, but God saw a deliverer. Like David and Moses, you are in a wilderness of your own. And though it may feel like you're being overlooked or misunderstood, you are being prepared for something far greater than you can imagine. People may still see you as the version of yourself you've left behind, but in God's eyes, you are being formed into something entirely new. The wilderness isn't a place of defeat. It's the crucible where the raw materials of your future are being refined and shaped. The lessons you've learned in isolation, the strength you've gained in solitude, and the wisdom you've acquired in silence are all part of the process that's preparing you for what's ahead. You are not who they think you are, and you are certainly not who you once were. You are becoming someone more powerful, more confident, and more aligned with your divine purpose. The wilderness also teaches you something invaluable: the importance of trusting God's timing. When you're in the wilderness, it can feel like nothing is happening, that you're stuck in a waiting game with no clear end in sight. But God works in the silence, in the hidden seasons, and His timing is always perfect. The waiting, the silence, the challenges, they are all part of His divine plan to prepare you for what's to come. You may not see the fruits of your labor right now, but know that God is working behind the scenes. The wilderness is not a detour, it's the path. It's where the real work happens, and it's where you are being prepared for something great. What you're going through now, though difficult, is essential for your growth. You are being formed in ways that the world cannot see, but those internal shifts are what will carry you forward. You are learning to trust yourself, to trust God's plan, and to rely on your inner strength. As you emerge from the wilderness, you will be unrecognizable to those who only knew the old version of you. But when they see you stepping into your destiny, they will understand. Just like David and Moses, you are being prepared for something greater, something that will require all the strength, wisdom, and faith you've gained in the wilderness. The process is not easy, and it's not always comfortable, but it is necessary. The wilderness is the place where God shapes you into the person you were always meant to be. It is where your purpose is clarified, your strength is solidified, and your faith is tested. And while others may not see the transformation happening inside of you, know that it is real. You are not who you were, and you are not yet who you are going to be. But you are in the process of becoming the person you were always meant to be. Just as God prepared David and Moses in their wilderness seasons, He is preparing you for something extraordinary. The wilderness is not a punishment. It is your formation, and you are exactly where you need to be. There are moments in your transformation when the changes happening inside you feel so vast, so profound, yet they are completely invisible to the world around you. To others, nothing seems different. The external circumstances of your life may appear unchanged, and it might feel like the world is still operating as it always has. But deep inside you, things are shifting in ways that can't yet be seen. These shifts are foundational. They are the quiet, internal changes that set the stage for everything that is about to unfold in your life. While the world may not see them yet, you can feel them taking root. You're beginning to experience a new sense of self, a new level of awareness, and a new kind of power. And although it's still hidden beneath the surface, it's already changing everything. You're no longer the person you once were, and even though others may not recognize it just yet, the transformation within you is already underway. This is the most significant part of your journey, the part that happens in silence, in the quiet corners of your heart and mind. The most important changes always happen within first, and these internal shifts will soon become visible to the world around you. The first key shift you are experiencing is that you no longer tolerate toxic people. This is not just a mental decision you've made, but something that is happening on a deeper, almost instinctual level. Your body, your mind, your spirit, they are all rejecting the presence of negativity, dishonesty, and manipulation in your life. You may find yourself feeling uncomfortable, drained, or even physically unsettled when certain people enter your space. These are not just feelings. They are your inner wisdom, your intuition, telling you that these individuals no longer align with the new version of yourself. You no longer have the energy to engage with people who drain you, who bring toxicity into your life, or who try to pull you back into the past. It's not about judgment or hatred. It's about self-preservation. Your nervous system has shifted, and it instinctively rejects anything that doesn't serve your growth. You're not pushing people away out of malice, but out of a deep understanding that your energy is sacred and needs to be protected. The people who used to be a part of your life may not understand this shift. They may feel that you've changed, that you're distant or even unkind. But the truth is that you are simply honoring your boundaries. You've learned that protecting your peace is not selfish. It's necessary for your growth. You are becoming more attuned to the energy around you, and those who don't align with your new energy naturally fall away. And this is a good thing. This is the first step in reclaiming your space, your power, and your future. The second shift is the emergence of your voice. For so long, you may have stayed quiet, choosing not to speak your truth or to hide behind the opinions of others. But now, you're starting to find your voice, and it feels natural. When you speak, it's not just words, it's your truth. You're no longer afraid to say what you really think, to assert your needs, or to stand up for yourself. At first, this may have felt uncomfortable. You may have worried about being perceived as difficult, demanding, or unkind. But now, it feels like breathing. Speaking your truth is no longer something you have to force. It flows naturally from within you. This shift is powerful. It means you are stepping into your own power. You are no longer allowing others to define who you are, to shape your reality, or to silence your voice. Your words now carry weight. They carry the wisdom and experience of everything you've been through, and when you speak, people listen. This newfound confidence in your voice is a reflection of your growing self-assurance. You no longer need to seek approval or validation from others. You no longer feel the need to apologize for your truth. The voice that once felt small, muted, and unsure is now clear, strong, and unapologetic. This is the voice of the new you, the voice of someone who has learned to trust themselves, their instincts, and their worth. The third shift is the release from the need for external validation. For so long, you may have sought approval from others to feel worthy, to feel seen, or to feel valued. You may have measured your success based on how others perceived you, or you may have constantly sought recognition for your efforts. But now, something has changed. You no longer need others' approval to feel complete. You've realized that your worth doesn't depend on external validation. It's intrinsic. It's internal. You no longer rely on others' opinions to determine how you feel about yourself. You've learned that true validation comes from within. You know that you are enough, just as you are, and you don't need anyone's praise to feel validated. This shift is liberating. It allows you to show up fully as yourself, without worrying about whether people will approve or accept you. You're no longer seeking the applause of others. You're seeking your own peace, your own fulfillment, and your own alignment with your purpose. The need for validation has fallen away, and in its place is the confidence to walk through life as your authentic self, free from the need to prove anything to anyone. The fourth and final shift is your growing comfort with being alone. At one point, solitude may have felt like loneliness, a void that needed to be filled with distractions, relationships, or external noise. But now, you've come to realize that solitude is not something to fear. It is a sanctuary. You've learned to be comfortable with yourself, with your own thoughts, and with the space that silence provides. In solitude, you find clarity. In stillness, you hear your own heart, and you reconnect with your purpose. This is where you recharge, reflect, and grow. You're no longer afraid of being alone with yourself. You've made peace with your own company, and you've learned that being alone doesn't mean being isolated. It means being centered, grounded, and aligned with your true self. This shift is incredibly powerful, because it means you are no longer reliant on others for your sense of worth or peace. You've learned to find your own strength in silence, and in that silence, you've discovered your true power. You are no longer seeking distractions or validation from the outside world. You are content in your own presence, and this inner peace radiates outward, attracting the right people and opportunities into your life. These internal shifts, though invisible to others, are the foundation of the transformation you are undergoing. They are the quiet changes that are setting the stage for your external reality to catch up. As you continue to embrace these shifts, rejecting toxic people, finding your voice, releasing the need for validation, and finding peace in solitude, you are stepping into a version of yourself that is stronger, more authentic, and more aligned with your true purpose. These shifts are the key to your growth, and though they may feel uncomfortable at times, they are necessary for the transformation you are undergoing. The internal work is always the most important work, and once it's complete, the world will begin to see the changes in you. The person you are becoming is already within you. It's just a matter of time before the world recognizes it. Until then, trust the process. Keep embracing these shifts, keep honoring your growth, and know that the best version of yourself is emerging. As you navigate the profound internal changes taking place within you, a harsh reality begins to set in. The world around you, the people who know you, still see the old version of you. It's as if you stepped into a new chapter of your life, but everyone else is still stuck in the previous one, expecting you to fit the mold they've created for you based on who you were. You've done the hard work of transformation in the silence of your own heart. Yet the external world still sees the version of you who struggled, who played small, and who remained passive or unsure. This disconnect, this gap between the person you've become and the person others still perceive you to be, is where the friction lies. It creates an internal frustration that can be hard to shake off. You feel different, stronger, more aligned with your purpose, but the people around you haven't caught up. They still view you through the lens of your past behaviors, past actions, and past mistakes. They continue to treat you like the person you used to be, as if the transformation you've undergone doesn't exist in their eyes. This can feel like a constant battle. Internally, you know who you are becoming, but externally, you are still being held in the old version of yourself. The friction between the two can leave you feeling misunderstood, frustrated, and even isolated at times. The gap between the internal and external realities is something every person undergoing transformation experiences. It's a part of the process, though it can often feel disheartening. Family members continue to tell the same old stories about you. Friends still expect you to play the same roles, and coworkers treat you as if you haven't changed at all. They may hold on to outdated narratives of who you are, never fully grasping the depth of the growth and strength you've gained in silence. It can feel as though they are unaware of the battles you've fought alone, the victories you've won in private, and the wisdom you've accumulated over time. There is a gap between how you see yourself and how they see you. And in many ways, this gap can feel like a weight, a burden you must carry while you continue to evolve. It's frustrating to be treated as though you're still the person who was lost in uncertainty when, deep within, you know you've stepped into a new identity. You've outgrown that version of yourself, yet the world around you hasn't caught up yet. You want them to see you for who you truly are, but they're still stuck in the old story. And while this gap can feel like an obstacle, it is also a sign that you are truly evolving, because the external world cannot recognize what hasn't manifested yet. The truth is that the external world can't see the changes that have already taken place within you, because transformation always starts from the inside out. The shift in your heart, in your mindset, in your beliefs, these things are not immediately visible to others. People around you can't see your internal growth because they are still looking at you through the lens of your past. They are still holding on to their perceptions of you, which are based on who you were, not who you're becoming. This can create tension, not only in your relationships, but also within yourself. You may begin to question why others don't see you for the person you are becoming, or why they continue to treat you as if you haven't changed. You might even wonder if you're doing something wrong, or if you're the one who's out of sync with the world. But the reality is that transformation is a process, and while the internal shifts are happening now, the external changes will come in time. Just as a seed planted in the ground doesn't immediately sprout, your transformation is still in its early stages of manifestation. Your new identity is taking root inside you, but it hasn't fully manifested on the outside yet. People will only see the new version of you when the time is right. This gap is not a sign that you're failing or that you're stuck. It's a sign that your growth is happening quietly, and when the time comes, the external world will have no choice but to recognize the new you. What's important to understand is that the external world's perception of you is always lagging behind your internal transformation. They cannot see the work that's happening inside of you because it hasn't yet fully revealed itself in the physical world. You may feel frustrated by this, but this gap is actually a necessary part of the process. It's in this space between who you were and who you are becoming that the real work is happening. You are being refined, shaped, and prepared for what's ahead. And even though others can't see it, the changes are taking root. The truth is that the world can only recognize you when you are ready to show up fully as the person you've become. The timing of your external recognition isn't in your hands. It's in God's hands. You don't need to force it, explain it, or defend it. The world will see who you've become in its own time. When you fully step into your new identity, the world will begin to see you for who you are, not who you were. This period of not being recognized is uncomfortable, but it's also a powerful test. It challenges you to stand firm in who you know you are becoming, even when the world around you still sees you as the old version. It's easy to shrink back into the person others expect you to be, to conform to the roles they've assigned you, but doing so would only delay the manifestation of your true self. This is your time to stand in your power, to walk confidently in the truth of who you are becoming, and to trust that the world will catch up with you. You do not need to explain yourself, nor do you need to seek validation from others. The more you step into your new identity, the more the external world will begin to shift in response. People will start to see you for who you are, not who you were. And when they do, it won't be because you've changed to please them. It will be because you have become the truest version of yourself. And that is something no one can deny. The external friction you feel right now is part of the process of your evolution. It's a necessary part of stepping into your new identity. The world may still see you as the person you once were, but that doesn't change who you are becoming. The more you embrace the changes within, the more others will eventually recognize them in you. You are not waiting for their recognition. You are waiting for the moment when your transformation is so complete that it cannot be ignored. When that time comes, you will no longer need anyone's approval or validation. You will simply walk in the fullness of who you are, and the world will finally catch up with you. Keep moving forward. The external recognition will come, but it starts with you. The truth about transformation is that it doesn't just change the way you think or feel. It shifts the very essence of who you are, who you were always meant to be. You are becoming a new version of yourself, one that is stronger, wiser, and far more aligned with your true purpose. As this new version of you takes shape, you will find that the things that once bothered you, such as seeking external validation, worrying about others' opinions, or shrinking yourself to fit into a box, no longer hold any power over you. This shift is profound because it means that you are no longer swayed by the world's expectations. Instead, you are beginning to walk with a quiet confidence in your own authority. You are no longer seeking approval from others to feel worthy or validated. The validation you once sought from people, positions, or possessions has been replaced with a deep knowing of your own worth. A knowing that doesn't need anyone's affirmation to be true. You have learned to trust yourself, to believe in your own voice, and to stand tall in your power. This new identity is one of self-assurance and quiet strength. You walk into rooms now, not with the uncertainty that once defined you, but with a quiet, grounded presence that commands respect and attention. There is no need to announce your arrival or to seek validation in any form. Your presence is enough. You know who you are, and that confidence in yourself radiates outward. The more you embody this new version of yourself, the more you will feel the shift not just within, but also in how the world interacts with you. This version of you, unshaken by external circumstances, confident in your own authority, and grounded in your truth, is the person you were always meant to become. You no longer need to hide. You no longer need to make excuses for your greatness. You are stepping into the fullness of your power, and this is just the beginning. As this transformation takes hold, you will begin to notice the practical manifestation of these internal shifts. You will walk into spaces, whether they are rooms filled with people, new opportunities, or unfamiliar environments, and you will change the atmosphere without even trying. This is the power of the person you're becoming. You don't have to force your presence on others, because the energy you exude is undeniable. Your very being, your confidence, your calm, your wisdom will shift the dynamics of any room you enter. People will be drawn to you, not because you've done anything spectacular to try and impress them, but because your energy aligns with truth, authenticity, and purpose. You will no longer need to chase after approval or seek out recognition. People will start noticing you for who you truly are, and they will naturally be attracted to your grounded presence. However, not everyone will be drawn to you in the same way. Some may feel inspired, uplifted, and eager to learn from you, but others may feel intimidated. This is a natural part of your transformation. As you step into your power, those who are not yet ready to embrace their own will either try to dismiss you or shrink away from you. This is not something you need to fear. You are not responsible for how others perceive you or react to you. You are only responsible for walking in your truth, and that truth will have an impact. The people who are meant to walk with you will be drawn to you. Those who are not yet ready will either step back or fade away. This is not a reflection of your worth, but rather a sign that you are stepping into your own authority. You no longer need to accommodate others' discomforts. You can stand firm in your power, knowing that you are simply being yourself, and that is enough. As you continue on this journey of becoming, you will find that your actions begin to carry more weight. Your decisions, your words, and your choices will be grounded in wisdom. People will start to listen to you differently, not because you've become louder or more forceful, but because your voice now has substance. Your wisdom is being recognized, even when you are not speaking. You will begin to take actions that are aligned with your true purpose, and these actions will not only impact your life, but also influence the lives of those around you. Your ability to make wise decisions, to trust your instincts, and to act from a place of inner peace and clarity will set you apart. People will see the wisdom in your choices, and they will come to you for guidance, advice, and leadership. This is what true authority looks like. Not a forceful presence or a loud declaration, but a quiet confidence that comes from knowing who you are and what you are meant to do. Your authority is not something you need to prove. It is something you embody with every step you take. The more you trust yourself and align with your purpose, the more your actions will reflect the wisdom and clarity that are now guiding you. But with this new presence, this new authority, will come new challenges. You may find that people in your life, especially those who knew the old version of you, will try to hold you to who you once were. They may resist the change they see in you because it challenges the roles they have assigned to you in their own lives. You may find yourself facing resistance, not because you are doing anything wrong, but because your transformation has stirred something in others. They may feel uncomfortable with your growth, your confidence, or your newfound clarity. This is normal, and it's a reflection of how powerful your transformation is. You are becoming someone who is unapologetically authentic, and that authenticity can challenge others to examine their own lives. This is not your burden to bear. It's not your responsibility to manage others' discomfort with your growth. You are not meant to shrink back into the version of yourself that others want you to be. You are meant to step fully into who you are becoming, and those who are meant to walk with you will join you on your journey. As you step into your new identity, you will also begin to see doors open that you never thought possible. Opportunities will begin to flow to you, not because you forced them to, but because you are now aligned with your true purpose. Your gifts will make room for you, just as Proverbs 18:16 says, "A gift opens the way and ushers the giver into the presence of the great." As you walk in your authenticity and power, the world will begin to recognize you for who you truly are. The opportunities that once felt out of reach will now become clear paths to your destiny. This is the natural manifestation of the internal work you've done. You've spent time in the wilderness, you've done the work of transformation, and now the doors that were once closed to you will begin to open. These opportunities won't come because of your effort to manipulate or control them. They will come because you are now aligned with your true self, and that alignment creates the space for the world to respond to you. The more you embrace this new version of yourself, the confident, wise, and grounded version of you, the more the world will reflect that back to you. Your presence, your actions, and your energy will begin to shape your reality in ways that once seemed impossible. People will notice the shift in you, and they will feel it. You won't have to force your way into spaces or try to convince others of your worth. Your authenticity, your power, and your confidence will naturally create the space for you to thrive. The more you walk in this truth, the more others will recognize it. And when they do, they won't see the person you once were. They will see the person you've always been meant to be, the person who has finally stepped into their full power and purpose. This is your time. This is your moment. The world is about to see the new you, and it won't be able to deny the impact you are destined to make. Navigating the threshold of your transformation is not a simple task. It's a season of growth, a season of stretching and discomfort, but also a season of immense potential. This is the space between who you were and who you are becoming. It's the place where everything that's been quietly happening inside you will soon begin to take form in the world around you. But to navigate this in-between season successfully, you must understand that it's not a place to rush through. It's not a moment to force things into place. Instead, it's a time to trust the process, to allow yourself to recalibrate, and to embrace the new version of you that is emerging. The 4 steps to navigating this threshold season are not just practical actions. They are mindsets that will guide you through this transformation with grace and wisdom. The first step in navigating the threshold season is to let old relationships recalibrate. As you change, the people in your life may struggle to keep up. You will notice that not everyone will come with you to the next season, and that's okay. Some people will try to hold you to the version of yourself they've known for years. They may cling to old narratives about you, or they may be uncomfortable with the changes they see in you. And while this can be painful, it's important to understand that your transformation is not about keeping everyone in your life. Some relationships are meant to last, and others are meant to fall away. As you step into the fullness of your new identity, some people will naturally fade from your life, not because of anything negative, but because their connection to the old version of you no longer serves the person you are becoming. This doesn't mean you need to cut ties with them harshly, but it does mean that you must allow these relationships to recalibrate. You have to release the expectation that everyone will understand or support the changes you are going through. Some will, but others will not. And that's okay. Trust that the people who are meant to walk with you into this new season will show up in the right time. There's no need to chase or force connections that are no longer aligned with your path. Instead, focus on nurturing the relationships that encourage your growth and let go of those that try to hold you back. It's not a rejection of others. It's an invitation to grow into the fullest version of yourself. The second step is to build new capacity. As you step into this new identity, you are being called to embrace new skills, new ways of thinking, and new levels of responsibility. You cannot bring the old ways with you into the new season. The person you are becoming requires a new set of tools, a new mindset, and a new skill set. This is your opportunity to stretch and grow in ways you never have before. Embrace these new challenges with an open heart and start practicing these new skills now, even if they feel unfamiliar or uncomfortable. Don't wait for the perfect moment to begin. Start where you are. If you are becoming a leader, start practicing leadership in small ways, whether it's guiding a team, offering advice, or simply making decisions with confidence. If you are stepping into a new creative path, begin creating, even if no one is watching. If you're becoming a speaker, start speaking, even if it's just to yourself or to a small group of friends. The key here is not perfection, it's progress. You are building the muscle for your future success. You are preparing yourself for the bigger opportunities that are coming. And the only way to do that is to start now. Don't wait for the world to catch up to you. Start stepping into the person you are becoming right now. Every action, no matter how small, is a step toward building the capacity you need for the next season of your life. The third step is to honor the process. Transformation is not linear. It's not a straight path from where you are to where you want to be. It's filled with ups and downs, twists and turns, moments of clarity and moments of confusion. Sometimes it may feel like you're moving backward instead of forward, or like you're not making progress at all. But the truth is, every step you take is part of the process. Every challenge, every setback, and every victory is shaping you into the person you are becoming. Honor this process by giving yourself grace. Don't rush through the discomfort or try to bypass the difficult parts of your transformation. Instead, lean into the discomfort and trust that it's leading you somewhere greater. Don't judge yourself for feeling uncertain or for having moments when you doubt your progress. Growth takes time, and it's okay to be in a season where things don't feel perfect. Be patient with yourself. Understand that you are a work in progress, and the process is just as important as the destination. There is no deadline for your transformation. You don't have to have everything figured out right now. What matters is that you keep moving forward, even if it feels slow. Trust that God is working behind the scenes, aligning everything for your highest good, and that every step you take is leading you toward the person you are becoming. Honor the journey, knowing that it is exactly what you need to become who you are meant to be. The fourth and final step is to trust the timing. The external manifestation of your transformation will happen in its own time. This is perhaps the hardest step to embrace because it requires a deep trust in the process and in God's timing. You may want to rush things, to see the results of your transformation right now. But the truth is that transformation takes time. Just as a seed planted in the ground doesn't sprout overnight, the changes happening inside you will not be visible immediately. You cannot force the external world to reflect your internal growth before it's ready. The key is to trust that the right opportunities, the right people, and the right circumstances will come when you are ready for them. Trust that the doors will open at the right time, not when you demand it, but when you've built the capacity to step through them. You don't need to rush, and you don't need to try to control the timing. Just as a caterpillar doesn't rush its metamorphosis, you must allow yourself the time and space to fully emerge as the person you're becoming. The timing of your external manifestation is not in your control. It's in God's hands. And when the time is right, everything will fall into place. You will be ready to step into the life that's waiting for you, and the world will see the transformation that's been happening quietly inside of you. As you navigate this threshold season, Remember that it's not about rushing to the end. It's about embracing each step along the way. Let old relationships recalibrate. Build the new capacity you need. Honor the process of transformation, and trust that everything is unfolding in divine timing. The person you are becoming is already inside you, and every choice you make, every step you take, is bringing you closer to the life you are meant to live. Keep going, keep trusting, and know that this season of transformation is leading you to something incredible. The best is yet to come. There will come a moment in your journey when the external world will finally begin to recognize the changes you've been making within yourself. It won't happen all at once, but it will come. Those who once saw you as the person you were before, the ones still struggling, still searching for their place, will begin to notice that something is different. They may not immediately be able to put their finger on it, but they'll sense that there's a shift in your energy, a newfound confidence, a quiet strength that wasn't there before. At first, the recognition may be subtle. It might come in the form of a question. What happened to you? Or perhaps in the way people begin to treat you with more respect, more attention, or more understanding. They will begin to notice the presence you now carry into every room, the wisdom that emanates from your words, and the calm assurance in your actions. But regardless of how small or subtle this recognition seems at first, it is an important sign. It is confirmation that the transformation you've worked so hard to cultivate, often in isolation, is no longer just an internal change. It is starting to show up in the external world. People are beginning to see you for who you've always been, the person you've always been meant to become. They may still be catching up to your journey, but the change is undeniable. And when they begin to ask, "What happened to you?" it will be your cue to step into that full recognition, knowing that you have already undergone a metamorphosis, and now the world is catching up to the truth you've known all along. However, this recognition is not something you need to chase after or seek validation from. You've spent enough time looking to others for approval, for signs that you are on the right path, and for reassurance that the changes you've made are worth it. But now, you must release that need. You must stop waiting for permission, for external validation, for someone to tell you that you are enough. The truth is, the recognition you crave will not come because you asked for it. It will come naturally, as a byproduct of you simply becoming who you truly are. The recognition, the respect, the acknowledgement will follow you as you walk in your truth, as you step into your purpose, and as you live authentically. It is not your job to prove yourself to anyone anymore. You no longer need to convince others of your worth. Your journey, your growth, and your transformation are already evident in the way you show up in the world. The more you align with your true self, the more the world will align with you. And when that recognition comes, whether subtle or overt, it will be a reflection of the person you've become, not because of the validation you sought, but because of the power and authenticity you now embody. It's time to stop waiting for others to acknowledge your growth, and instead, focus on the only recognition that truly matters: the recognition of your own worth, your own growth, and your own transformation. You are no longer the person who needs permission to step into their greatness. You no longer need to apologize for your voice, for your power, or for your presence. You've already done the work within yourself, and now it's time to allow that work to speak for itself. The recognition you will receive will not be because you tried to fit into someone else's mold, or because you sought their approval. It will be because you've stepped into your own authentic self, unapologetically and confidently. The external world's recognition is simply a reflection of the truth that is already established inside of you. It's a confirmation that you've been on the right path all along, even when no one else saw it. It's the validation of your journey, of your resilience, and of your courage. And while that recognition is fulfilling, it is not what defines you. What defines you is the strength and wisdom you've cultivated within yourself, the transformation that has already taken place, and the knowledge that you don't need anyone else's recognition to know that you are worthy and powerful. As you continue to step into the fullness of your new identity, you'll notice that the external world will begin to mirror that internal transformation. People will no longer see you as the person you once were. They will see you for the powerful, confident, and wise individual you've become. But this shift will happen on its own time, when you stop seeking approval and simply allow yourself to become who you were always meant to be. One of the most powerful lessons you can learn in this season of transformation is to stop waiting for permission to be who you truly are. For so long, you may have lived your life trying to meet the expectations of others, trying to fit into a mold that wasn't yours, and constantly seeking validation to confirm your worth. But now, you are being called to step fully into your truth, regardless of whether others recognize it immediately. The world will not always understand your journey, your growth, or your new identity, and that's okay. You don't need their understanding to continue on your path. The moment you release the need for permission, you will find a freedom like never before. You will realize that the only validation you need is the one you give yourself. The acknowledgement that you are worthy of all the greatness that is waiting for you. The more you trust in your own voice, in your own path, and in your own truth, the more others will begin to see you for who you truly are. The recognition will follow, but it will not be the thing that sustains you. It will simply be the natural consequence of you stepping fully into your power and purpose. The truth is, recognition can be fleeting. People will come and go, and their opinions of you will shift with time. But when you stop waiting for others to define you, you give yourself the opportunity to define yourself. You allow your inner truth to be the guiding light, and everything else will fall into place. This is the freedom that comes when you no longer seek validation from the outside world. You have the power to step into your greatness without anyone's permission. And when you do, the world will recognize you, not because you sought their recognition, but because you have become someone who cannot be ignored. The recognition will come as a byproduct of you fully embracing who you are. And when it does, you will know that it's not about proving yourself to anyone. It's about stepping into your full potential and allowing the world to see the person you've always been destined to be. So stop waiting. Stop seeking permission. Stop looking for external validation. Embrace who you are becoming, and trust that the recognition will follow as a natural outcome of your transformation. You are enough. You are powerful. And the world is about to recognize you for the incredible person you've always been, even if they haven't seen it yet. Keep walking. Keep becoming. And know that the recognition is already on its way. As you continue on this journey, it's important to recognize that the transformation you are undergoing is one that is so profound, so deep, that even you may not fully recognize the person you are becoming. This is not a sign of confusion or loss. It's a sign of growth. The version of yourself that you've known is slowly being replaced with someone even more powerful, more aligned, and more confident. The beauty of this transformation is that it allows you to step into a version of yourself that is greater than anything you could have ever imagined. You are becoming the person you were always meant to be, even if the full picture hasn't revealed itself yet. The changes happening inside of you are not just surface level. They are rewiring your very essence, aligning you with your true purpose. And while the process might feel uncomfortable or uncertain at times, know that you are exactly where you need to be. Trust the process. Trust that everything that has happened in your life, the struggles, the triumphs, the moments of doubt, and the moments of clarity, have all led you to this point. You are not lost. You are being found. Every step, every shift, and every adjustment is part of the divine plan that is unfolding in your life. Embrace who you are becoming, because this transformation is not random. It is part of something greater than yourself. You are aligned with your purpose, and the path ahead, while it may feel unclear at times, is already paved for you. Trust that the universe is guiding you, and that the steps you take now are leading you toward the most fulfilling, purposeful version of yourself. Now, as you stand at this threshold, it's important to remind yourself that you are already in alignment with your true purpose. The old you, with all its doubts and limitations, is no longer in control. You have already stepped into the new version of yourself, the one that knows their worth, their power, and their potential. The external world may still be catching up, but you are already walking in the truth of who you are becoming. Keep walking with confidence, knowing that every step you take is bringing you closer to the person you were always meant to be. This is your time. The universe has been waiting for you to fully embrace who you are. And now is the moment to step into your greatness without hesitation. As you move forward, let this be a prayer for your transformation. May you be filled with the strength to continue on this journey, even when it feels hard or uncomfortable. May you have the patience to trust the process, knowing that every challenge is shaping you into the person you are meant to be. May you have the courage to release the old version of yourself and step boldly into the new. May you find peace in the waiting, knowing that the recognition you seek will come in its own time, as a natural outcome of your transformation. And as you continue on this path, I invite you to share your experience of becoming in the comments. Let others know what this journey has been like for you, and how you are embracing the new version of yourself. Your story may be the encouragement someone else needs to keep going. Together, we can create a community of people who are walking in their truth, stepping into their power, and embracing the full version of who they are meant to be. This is your time. Your transformation is already happening, and the world is about to see the incredible person you have become. Keep going, keep growing, and know that you are already aligned with your true purpose.